So first of all, that's what I'm talking about today. It's Fintech Disruption. What we have seen recently in the market, that there is a new term called Fintech, financial technology, and how this will affect our life. Actually, it's not only disrupting the financial services. Every single aspect we're talking about nowadays can be affected by the new technology in this term. Before we start, let me just review with you quickly what we are going to do today as part of this short workshop. I will start with my own background within this area, within FinTech, and give you a flavor of what I'm doing, my experience. What's FinTech? It's important to have that kind of definition. It's not only how many people defined FinTech, but we need to have better understanding of the terminology behind FinTech. FinTech facts and growth around the world, particularly from far Asia, American, Canadian markets, Europe, and so on. Whether FinTech can shape or reshape the financial services, revolution of disintermediation, which is very important for banks nowadays, benefits versus risks. I think that's really important as well, Islamic FinTech landscape, and how Islamic financial institutions can react towards this new technology or term. Financial services function, traditional versus FinTech. What kind of disruption FinTech causing the financial services. Major technology forces, gaps and opportunities, and that's very useful for our PhD candidates and faculty staff members. So this will shape the new and future research, key future priorities, and main takeaways. So, my name is Hussein Abdou. I'm full professor of finance and banking. And my major area of expertise is banking. So I finished my PhD back in 2009 in the UK, and I was one of the first people who started to tackle the financial technology in terms of neural networks and genetic programming, making predictions for clients' creditworthiness. So we had some banking information, historical data about their clients, and we try to predict for the bank whether those clients will be eligible to pay the money back. الدكتوراه بتاعتي كانت في استخدام الشبكات العصبية والتحليل الجيني. دي حاجات بتتاخد من الفيزيكس والكيمستري. محدش درسها في الفاينانس قبل كده، بس أنا I borrowed the idea from medicine, chemistry, physics, وعملت الابليكيشن دي on financial data. It was a very fresh contribution back in 2009 when I finished my PhD. We've got a number of publications out of it in top Q1, all of them Q1 publication. As you can see here, that's my academic background. My professional background, I worked with a number of banks in the Middle East building credit scoring models for their consumer loans. It's relevant to SMEs, corporate, or other credit scoring models, but the idea is to predict the creditworthiness of their clients. Also professional trainer, building scoring models for banks in a number of developing countries. Actually, we've worked in Egypt, in Cameroon, Vietnam, Libya, more recently in India. FinTech application is my favorite subject nowadays. I've started this around 10 years ago. However, the concept become really interested more recently. I evaluated some of the software packages for the US market, including score to credit decision. And that was my first experience ever with the American market, which very, very nice one. Extensive experience in delivering professional training courses around the world. Actually, I came here to the Gulf a number of times, in Dubai, in Riyadh, in Kuwait, but first time ever in Doha. I'm sure it will not be the last. But delivering training courses for people from different sectors, banking sector, airline companies, people from NHS, medicine and health insurance, and so on. Around big data analytics, that's really hot topic. big data analytics, fintech, big data, married. big data in Arabic البيانات الضخمة الكبرى البيانات اللي بالملايين ممكن تكون billions of data كمان. Big data and fintech are related. Risk management, scoring modeling techniques, even innovation management and Islamic finance and economics as well. Alhamdulillah, widely published international peer-reviewed journals last 8 years only, resulting more than 40 publications. You can check my website and my profile over the university website. Editor-in-chief for Cogent Banking and Finance Journal, that's Taylor Francis Group. It's a young journal. However, we've received 1-star ranking last year. So it's within 2 years to receive 1 star. That's really good achievement. And our target, inshallah, is to take it up to 4-star. International membership and editorial board, a lot of journals actually, including Journal of Banking and Finance, International Journal of Middle Eastern Finance and Management, and so on. I referee for nearly 30 journals worldwide. And عشان تشتغل مراجع للجورنالز ده بيديك experience بيخليك تعرف ايه الابحاث الجديده اللي موجوده مش بس انك تقيم الابحاث ولكن انت بتتعلم منها برضه. You've got to learn from what you're reviewing for other journals as well. Professional bodies around the world, including risk management associations, IFAPS in US, BAFA in the UK, Higher Education Academy in the UK, and EA in Europe, and such more. And alhamdulillah, more than events, that's only selected events for keynote speech, including Fintech North, that was back in 2017, fundamental discussions, FMA in 2018, and the current event as well. But I still believe I've got a lot to learn. I've just started my journey. And that's the key of success for anybody. If you believe that you know everything about one thing, so that's the beginning of your fail. Every single day you have to learn something new. Every single day you have to learn something from somebody else. And that's my expectations as well from you guys. I need to have some knowledge from your side. أنا متوقع إن أنا أتعلم منكم زي ما إن شاء الله أنتم متوقعين إنكم تستفيدوا من بعض المعلومات اللي أنا هعرضها. Then I believe you've got this real field experience, you've got your own experiences, and I don't have it. So that kind of interaction, that's what I'm looking for exactly. Before we start, let me just show you something. You may like, you may not, but let me try it. It's a cheetah hunting that gazelle, and there is a man coming from behind and picking up the cheetah and running away. I know it's fake. That's not the message, right? But see it again. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have to go for full screen. That's the one. So what's your impression? It's against the nature, isn't it? So we expect the cheetah is the fastest animal on earth. ده أسرع حيوان على الأرض. طبيعي إن هو يhunt the gazelle, but there is a man coming from behind and picking up the gazelle and running. I know it's fake. Yeah, that's not the message. أنا عارف إن الفيديو ده متركب. دي مش الرسالة اللي أنا عايز أوصلها. بس I would like to know your impression. Oh, that's the audio. Thank you.
Put it parallel, the projection, so that you can see it on both the screens.
So how
do
this?
you project it? I mean, on
I
your
have
computer.
no clue. It's just there. If you just go down there.
Where?
Here.
No, not on the PPT, on the display side.
Display is just come here. That's it.
No problem. Continue.
I'll continue. Yeah. So I would like to sorry for this interruption. It's the advantage and disadvantage of technology which we are talking about today. What's your impression?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, I'm not quite sure, but naturally, the cheetah should have its male, which is the gazelle. But the human being here interferes and takes the gazelle from the mouth of the cheetah.
Good, good, very good start. Let me explain it in a different way. Who's who within your field?
The fintech is that the human being, and that is the normal, what you call it, economic.
So are you trying to say that cheetah is the banking industry, big banks?
Yeah, the
Gazelle is the clients.
Yes.
Human is a fintech.
Yep. Somehow.
Are you trying to say this?
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Okay, who agrees, who disagrees? مين اللي موافق مين اللي مش موافق؟
صباح الخير.
أهلا وسهلا بحضرتك. أهلا
منصور
وسهلا.
الخوري، أنا نائب رئيس مجلس إدارة السيال جروب.
أهلا وسهلا.
نحن 27 سنة في
ما شاء الله.
الحماية الإلكترونية.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
من بيروت ومشارك هون على موضوع السايبر سيكيورتي.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
أول شيء بدي أعتذر لأنه وصلت مؤخر.
ولا يهمك.
المجموعة
أهلا وسهلا.
دخلت
أهلا وسهلا. أهلا وسهلا.
اللي فينا ناخذ سوري. نحن
تفضل.
العبرة
تفضل استريح.
معلي على طول في سولوشنز، على طول في حلول. ورغم الارتفيشال انتليجنس الانسان له بصماته، والانسان هو اللي بيرجع بيحرك كل شيء. اللهم اذا كان قادر تكون المبادره بايده وتكون.
Very good. Okay, that's a completely different point of view. What else? أنا عايز الناس تتفاعل معايا، يعني حتى ما يهمكش أنت هتقول صح ولا غلط. I don't care about right or wrong answer here. What I'm caring about is your views. Break the ice, engage. Hit me. تفضل.
Maybe one other way to look at it is if you're passionate for something, you can achieve it. If there's a will, there's a way.
Here we go.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry. Let's hear so that we can share with you.
So, I mean, this person was so passionate about the gazelle, especially I'm Abu Ghazali family, so I feel
يعني هو عايز يقول الراجل ده عنده هدف وهو بيسعى لتحقيق هدفه وحقق هدفه برغم ان هو نظريا مستحيل. اوكي، ايه وجهات النظر الثانيه؟
ممكن تظل نظرة السربرايزز، يعني اللي واضح.
I'm totally surprised. ما شاء الله, your ideas are really working really good. That's the idea. He's talking about a completely different issue here, surprising issue. Who on the earth would expect a man to beat a cheetah? Never. فيش حد يتوقع في العالم انك ممكن كإنسان عندك السرعة. حتى Usain Bolt, the fastest guy on the earth, he can't beat the cheetah, isn't it? Right? Very good indeed. What else? عليكم السلام.
من زاوية أن الهدف الصعب نغتنم فرصة وجوده. فلو أن الرجل لم يسرع ويأخذ هذا، لو ضيع هذه الفرصة أو فكر ضاعت عليه.
And that's exactly something we're going to discuss about big data analytics, because one type of the data is flying data. البيانات الطائرة. Flying data comes only once. If you can't catch it, gone. فالراجل هنا بيتكلم، الدكتور بيتكلم عن إن لو أنت عندك فرصة اغتنمها. شوف كم فكرة طلعنا بيها من شورت فيديو. أنا عارف إن هو فيك، بس كم فكرة طلعنا بيها. And more. الفيميل سايد هنا عايزين نسمع الأفكار.
أنا عندي فكرة.
تفضل.
أنا أرى أن هذا أقرب هو الخيال، والخيال ما ممكن نبني عليه لأنه جموح عنده.
I would disagree slightly, but we can discuss this. Actually, nothing impossible. Subhanallah, nothing impossible.
ما في شيء غير.
Nothing impossible. بمشيئة الله, everything possible, but you have to have the right sources and the right approach to achieve it. بمشيئة الله. Okay? Your idea.
الباشن اللي عند الإنسان ممكن تخليه خارق لقوانين الطبيعة. يعني مش هو ده الطبيعي اللي بيحصل.
We've seen a lot of examples about abnormal people who can achieve whatever we couldn't believe that they can achieve. Absolutely, good point.
To be succeed, you must be in the field.
Here we go. لازم تبقى جزء من الميدان مع الناس.
اما تكون في خارج الميدان.
ممتاز رائع. بعد ما نخلص النهارده I hope I will be able, they delayed us for 15-20 minutes at the beginning already, but I hope we'll be able to cover everything. I will ask you again about your views. And I will see whether this changed it or not. Okay? So, fintech, you can read the slides, you can read the definition. I'm not going to read them all line by line, but fintech, financial technology. So it's a combination between finance and technology. في فرق ما بين fintech وتكفن؟ Okay. So the difference between fintech and TechFin is in the original objective and aim of establishing a company. في حاجة expression جديد ظهر which we call GAFA. Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. That's the first letter of each of these big giant tech companies' names. So Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. You can add to this Microsoft. Those are tech fins. الناس دي بدأت high technology companies, ended with providing financial services. Generation Z, millennials, young people اللي هم age between 19 to 25, 28 years old. الناس دي تفكيرها مختلف تماماً عن الناس العواجيز اللي زي حالتي. Old people. I'm not that very old. بس تفكيره مختلف. في إحصائيات بتقول 57.5 million American millennials will not use credit card anymore. They will be using Apple Pay or any other technology based on fintech. 57.5 million millennials, American-based. And this represents 75% of the overall millennials all over the world. انت متخيل الشيفت اللي هيحصل في السوق؟ انت متخيل how the whole market will be shifted? We may live to see this, we may not. But the new generation have completely different view. الناس دي بتفكر بشكل مختلف. وهنشوف some statistics about this. But generally speaking, الفintech the new term. Innovative technology, not only the technology, the new technology. الidea اللي فيها انك you are using this technology to provide the traditional financial services in a better way. Faster, cost efficient, more reliable. In a different term, you are relaxing in your home on your sofa bed and you are just over your computer doing whatever you want to do. You don't have to go to the branch, you don't have to go physically or visiting your bank anymore. أحد التعريفات بالشكل ده. Okay, does it work now? Fintech presents to you actually all the areas or some examples of those areas where you can provide fintech services. Payments, investments, advisory. That's a very hot, promising area. Insurance. Are you aware of the size of insurance industry worldwide? $12 billion. And around only 12% of this within Islamic finance, takaful and retakaful. So there is a huge, massive opportunity here for fintech. Big data, that's the future. Big data is the future, not only in fintech, not only in artificial intelligence, but across different sectors. Financing, refinancing, and so on. So that's the final conclusion. It's a contraction between finance, التمويل, and technology, التكنولوجيا. Okay? End of the day, what's the purpose? Is to provide new set of more traditional financial services to the clients. And believe me, end of the day, what we all do is for one goal. make our clients satisfied. My salary is for my clients. Your salary is from your clients. If your clients are satisfied, everything is okay. But you need to be clever enough to have better expectations of what your clients need, when they need it, how would they need it, and why they need it. Who are your competitors? And you have to compare yourself with your competitors. So we believe now, giving this short definition, that there is something we call disruption. And my point of view as well, fintech is no longer only disruptors of financial industry, but they are also competitive or provide sophisticated competitors to the industry. So fintech, when we talked about fintech last 5 years, 10 years, we believe that fintech, they are disrupting financial industry. They are no longer only disrupting the financial industry, they are now presenting a very new group, providing very competitive, sophisticated competition to the market. These new forms of fintech, peer-to-peer lending, merchant financing, electronic marketplace, and so on and so. In peer-to-peer financing, actually, you don't need a bank. You don't need that third party. It's a platform over the computer, and people meet there, and they try to match those people in need for the money with those people who have surplus of this money. بيحاول يعمل connection ما بين الناس اللي محتاجة للأموال والناس اللي معها فائض من الأموال. بيعمل some checks, but can you imagine how fast is it? 60 seconds over the computer. You've got the money. Straight away. 60 seconds. And to fill an application over a branch in a bank, you might take 60 days. Okay, that's not the point. But we have a lot of forms of fintech services include crowdfunding, we talked about it yesterday, digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, blockchains, bitcoins, and so on and so. And all these new ideas disrupting and provide competitive advantage against more traditional banking financial services providers. From an Islamic point of view, may be different, maybe not, but my own view is when it comes to technology, whatever applies to traditional banking applies to Islamic banking. لما نيجي نتكلم عن التكنولوجيا, whatever, معلش العربي بتاعي شوية, الحاجة اللي هنتكلم عنها بالنسبة للبنوك التقليدية وهي applicable في البنوك التقليدية يمكن تطبيقها, هي ممكن تطبيقها في البنوك الإسلامية. مفيش فرق. In my point of view, ده رأيي الشخصي. As a technology. ممكن ناس يعترضوا ويقول لازم التكنولوجي دي تكون موافقة للشريعة. أكيد. لازم ما يكونش فيها حاجة حرام أو prohibited. أكيد. That's a different story. I'm not talking about Sharia principles or I can't allow something or permit something or not. That's not my area. But what I'm talking about here, when it comes to technology, it's an industry. Competition is open. So whatever is applicable to the conventional, more traditional banking industry is applicable to the Islamic financial services. Based on the recent Islamic financial report published back in 2018, they identified 9 fintech technologies. Going from the back office through the middle office into upfront office, but based on artificial intelligence, big data, quantum computing. انت مستوعب معايا ايه اللي بيحصل دلوقتي؟ الباك اوفيس where they prepare بيجهزوا للعمليات الكبرى في البنوك. فكل البنوك حاليا most of the banks now using artificial intelligence, big data. ولو عايز تتكلم عن البيج داتا ده completely different story. The better the data, the high quality the data, the better the expectations out of these data. And that's the magic as well. Quantum computing, when you can deal with complex problems. Moving to mobility, open banking, allowing third parties to share your privacy with the bank. When you call a bank all days and asking about your information, for example, they said, oh, for security reasons, we can't share this information. It's for our clients. The idea behind open banking is allowing third parties to have an idea about who you are. الأوبن بانكينج الأيديا بتاعتها باختصار إنك أنت في زمان ما كانش ينفع إنك تطلب من بنك إن هو يشير البيانات الخاصة بتاعتك مع حد. السرية المصرفية. دلوقتي السرية المصرفية old fashion. في حاجة اسمها transparency، الشفافية والإفصاح. Got it. الشفافية والإفصاح إنك أنت تبقى عندك نوع من إنك أنت مش خايف إنك تشير البيانات دي مع حد لأن مفيش حاجة غلط. وبالتالي open banking idea came from this perspective actually when you can share your client's information with third parties.
Can I interact please here?
Of course.
طبعا احنا فكرة الخصوصية بالإضافة إلى تداعياتها السرية البنكية يعني لكن أيضا في جزء كبير منها راجع إلى خصوصيات الأفراد يعني المعتقدات.
Absolutely.
اللي يتفضلون فيه انه مساله انه انا ما دام انه ما في شيء غلط فخلاص خلي الاخرين يطلعوا على.
However, the bank still until now can't give your information without your permission. So there is kind of respect here. يعني ما يقدرش البنك يشير الانفورميشن بتاعتك من غير إذنك. Of course. Peer-to-peer or peer-to-peer financing and so on. So the main idea here that this is the fintech from an Islamic perspective. How many shared areas or shaded areas here between conventional and Islamic? Artificial intelligence, big data, quantum, mobility, a lot. So again, that confirms my own view. When it comes to technology, there is no such difference between conventional and Islamic financial service providers. So end of the day, there is no universal definition of fintech, right? مش ممكن تلاقي تعريف واحد للفintech كل الناس هتتفق عليه. Different views, different perspective, but end of the day, my own view, it's technology and finance and technology, and so on. But the point is, disruption ahead, wake up. If you still believe that you are a big bank, big to fail, too big to fail, ده الاولد اكسبريشن الناس بتوع الايكونومي يفهموا الكلام ده كويس. ان في بنوك قديمه كبيره راس المال بتاعها بالبليونز اوف دولارز يقول لك انا too big to fail. وطبعا الاكزامبلز في الهيستوري كتير وهنعرض بعضها ان شاء الله في المحاضره. A lot.
This is what we call it disruptive in technology, which when it has come to the industry, it's changed the business model of the industry.
Everything.
Uber.
Absolutely.
The business model of Uber is the technology merged on the taxi industry, totally destroyed it from the traditional.
Very good example, actually.
So that's when the technology comes to the banking industry now. The disruptive technology totally changed the business model of the banking industry. If you do not cope with that one, then you may, as you said, if you think that you are big bank, you may be out of the industry.
Who's your best friend nowadays? Who's your best friend nowadays? That's it. That's my best friend. أصحى الصبح, who texts me? Even if I'm a very serious man, businessman, bank account, email address, replying to emails, doing blah, 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 all over this little thingy. تعمل كل حاجة على الموبايل بتاعك. Some people, from a psychology point of view, advise that's totally wrong, and you may destroy the new generation because they are addicted now to the mobility, the technology. Where is the face-to-face interaction? Even in a social life, in Europe, in America, in Canada, maybe that's different from Arab countries or Middle East, where we used to meet on a weekly basis. The whole family, granddad and mom, your dad and mom, your aunts, your uncles, and sit together and have conversation. Nowadays, I'm sitting with my own sons and daughters in the room, and everyone is over his or her own mobile phone. Unbelievable. انت بتبقى قاعد مع اولادك في الاوضه وكل واحد ماسك الموبايل بتاعه قاعد بيلعب بيه. Pros and cons. So my message to you is be careful of the excessive use of technology, but there is a need for technology. But excessive use of technology, but how are you going to control millennials? Millennials, there are a lot of definitions. Some people argue that those people were born after 2000, but the real definition is mid-90s or early 90s, mid-80s, early 90s. That's the millennials. Generation Z is those people who are aged now between 19, 18, and 23 years old. Those kind of young people are different. You can talk from today until next year to them, they will never change their mind. Technology. Right. So let's review some facts around fintech. Last couple of years witnessed massive increase in fintech industry. $12 billion. That number increased, by the way, massively. As per some reports, banking industry in North America spends on new technology only. New development of new line of technologies only. Approximately 17 billion in 2015. And that will increase, which was increased already to $20 billion in 2017, 3 years ago. أنت متخيل, can you imagine how much money industries, governments spending on new technologies? Scary. That scares shit out of me. That scares me. أنت متخيل حجم الأموال اللي بتنفق على التطبيقات الجديدة من التكنولوجيا؟ أموال ميزانيات بلاد. Specific within fintech development, within banking industry, that's our focus, is fintech related to financial services, isn't it? We've got two folds here. The first involved developing knowledge and products within technology side. That's a definite. And the second, to develop that right technology, you need the right people to apply these technologies. So you need to train employees and customers. And that's the new concept as well. Some people believe that we have to train only our employees. What about your customers? You are going to develop an app over your mobile phone, provide it to your customers who can't use it. انت عايز جنبين، عايز تطور تكنولوجيا وتعمل تكنولوجيا جديدة وتقدم التكنولوجيا دي لاثنين، الامبلويرز الموظفين بتوعك والعملاء. انت لو عملت ديفلوبمنت وصرفت ملايين وعملت اب على الموبايل بتاعك وقدمته والموظفين عارفينه بس العميل بتاعك ما بيعرفش يستخدمه. Gun. So you have to even to train your employer and your customer. انت متخيل الموضوع بقى عامل ازاي؟ اوكي. We all remember the recent financial crisis back in 2008-07. Most of financial reports recently expecting another hit, 2021. Why? Don't ask me. But there is an expectation, strong expectation, that there is another financial crisis, much stronger than the one hit the world back in 2007-08. But based on the Global Islamic Economy Report, the expectation for the growth is around 3.5 trillion by 2024. Islamic fintech only. If you look to the general fintech industry, the overall, it's completely different. Application of fintech can cover a lot of aspects in banking. These are only examples. Risk management and prediction, that's my own area. That's where we develop credit scoring models, where we develop and use neural networks and genetic algorithms. There is a new version of genetic algorithms, for example, called gene expression, where you consider all the back or drawbacks of the normal genetic programming, where you have mutation techniques and overcome the error rates. A lot of types of neural networks. Very famous one. You have back propagation neural networks. You have cascade correlation neural networks. Neural networks per se, family is massive, huge. You know what I mean? If you talk about other techniques, for example, hyper techniques, support vector machines, gene expressions, a lot of things here, all borrowed from other areas. كل الحاجات دي تم استعارتها من الكيمياء والفيزياء والطب، المجالات الأخرى، وبنحاول نطبقها في مجال التمويل. Customer protection, security issues, expansion plans, operations. Remember this, I said this, social media. Most of banks, most of companies, most of mobile phone companies, airline companies, they are using social media as a main source of information. And that's a very good example of flying data. If you have a story over your Facebook account, over your Instagram, over your Snapchat, story will take only 24 hours. That's a long time. That's a flying data. Once the story gone. لو انت عندك ستوري، ما اقدرش اقولها بالعربي، ما اعرفش هي تتقال ايه. اوكي، قصه. لو عندك قصه بالعربي بتعمل لها شير على الفيسبوك، مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي. القصه دي او الستوري اللي انت بتحطها بتقعد 24 hours 24 ساعه. دي بنسميها flying data، بس دي very long flying data because some other flying data continue only for seconds, minutes. Once ان القصه دي gone ما تقدرش ترجعها تاني. So, giving the importance of social media now, banks, airline companies, mobile companies, hospitals, health insurance, all those people using social media now, social media analytics, massive data. والمشكلة مع السوشيال ميديا إن أنت عندك other sources للداتا بتبقى organized, structured. البيانات منظمة. لما تيجي تاخدها من السورس، مثلا لو عايز تروح السنترال بانك تجيب بعض البيانات عن بعض العملاء هتلاقيها منظمة ومرتبة. في السوشيال ميديا all over the place. Lost my badge. So it's all over the place. فدي بنسميها unstructured, unorganized, unpredictable data. But now, very, very good source of information to control the level of risk. And this requires technology. And some people start to use something we call it Bison's techniques. That's the origin of neural networks. To create something we call bootstrapping and lagging. لأنك لازم تديفلوب سوفت وير تكون قادرة على إنها تعمل تراك للإنفورميشن دي. Developing high, powerful, quality software can track these flying, unstable, unorganized, unstructured data. So, there is no question that this kind of technology within fintech disrupting the whole world. Am I right? From this little thingy we've just discussed right now. Funding of fintech startups. Startups, those people who just started their businesses. Around the world, as per 2019, there are 12,000 startups worldwide. This does not include technology providers. Only startups who can provide financial services with new technology. 12,000. Around 100 of them are Islamic. And the size of fund for the industry doubled back in 2015 to 12.2 billion, up to 5.6 billion compared to 5-6 billion back in 2014. So when you come to fintech companies, it's a new market. Activities are offered rewarding competitive landscape. So those startups are the real competitors, and this is where we have to have this marriage between banking industry and fintech startups. ده المكان اللي انت لازم تتكلم فيه عن التعاون اللي ما بين البنك وما بين الفintech providers, التكنولوجي providers. Most of the time, you have a brilliant banker who had a better understanding ever of financial problems, the market, the movements. But when it comes to technology, I'm not me. It's somebody else. And you have in the back office some brilliant IT guys who can develop a lot of things, but when it comes to finance, what the hell are you talking about? I have no clue. Am I right? لذلك لما تكلمنا البارح في الشورت نوت 12 minutes قلت ان في نيد للإديوكيشن. احنا عايزين واحد دلوقتي في الماركت عنده النولج بتاعة الفاينانس والايكونومي والتكنولوجي. There is a huge need for highly trained, educated new generation where they have the knowledge of finance and technology. Absolutely, absolutely. And this is the new generation.
That's the interaction in the education level perspective. When we look to education now, we are not teaching students accounting, pure accounting. We need to integrate the technology in our accounting process, for example. So there is change in the teaching or the education industry.
It's a must. It's a must.
That's why.
But may I ask a question? How many technology-based programs within business are in Qatar? كم برنامج معتمد على التكنولوجيا في تخصصات غير تخصصات التكنولوجيا موجود في قطر؟
No, not. At least in the College of Business, Qatar University, no.
I don't live in Doha, but based on the statistics, none.
Yeah, no, because
Do you have undergraduate program in fintech? عندك degree في الفinTech للundergraduate؟ انت عندك finance، عندك accounting، عندك general business, marketing. Do you have fintech degree as a master degree in any of the universities? Even in Europe, all of you. And that's why I suggested there is a need for education.
It is a culture.
It is part of the culture, indeed. So we have competition between various banks, isn't it? So various banking institutions have huge, massive competition. Now they are not competing with each other only, but they are competing with non-financial service providers. Where I live back in the UK, we've got big groceries like Sainsbury's, Tesco, Asda, right? Can you believe that Sainsbury's, Tesco, Asda, they have their insurance, they have their loan, their credit card, their car financing? What? الشوبز دي بتاعت الأكل والشرب والخضروات والفاكهة وبعض الحاجات اللي بتستخدم في البيت والفرش. بيديني قرض، بيديني credit card. And the new concept in Europe now, interest-free credit card for up to 24 months. As Muslim, live in Europe, I can't accept interest, that's my principle. So, but I would accept a credit card interest-free up to 24 months. Before the 24 months ends, I have to pay the whole balance. But it's a whole release. يعني أنت بتاخد credit card فيما معناه قرض صغير. القرض ده interest free لمدة 24 شهر. بيدي لك ليميت مثلا 5000 ستيرلينج. أنت تصرف منهم زي ما أنت عايز، بس قبل ال 24 شهر ما يخلصوا لازم تدفع باك.
Do you not have it in the Gulf? You know, Oman, for example, I think we
I don't know.
such thing. In Iran, of course, we have it a lot.
I don't know.
All the shops, I mean, most of the big shops in Iran.
But I'm talking about Western culture. I'm talking about non-Muslim countries. Providing.
I mean, even the fintech, I mean, the technology in the shops. I'm not quite sure that I understood what you mean when you said that big shops, for example, grocery shops, like supermarkets, they give what do you call it, loans, yeah? When you buy from them, yeah?
No. Without buying.
They give you money just and buy from whatever.
Like a bank.
Like a bank?
Yeah.
I won't go.
Credit card, car insurance, loans. So this means that banking are no longer competing with other financial providers, but non-financial providers. And add to this, technology companies.
Somehow they're playing the role of the financial companies, so it's a...
They are. And believe it or not, when I applied last time for a loan from HSBC, and I tried Lloyds, Santander, big Spanish bank, they give me around, I do remember, 10.5 interest rate. When I applied for a loan using Sainsbury or Tisco loan or finance, they give me only 2.8. Do you believe this? Do you believe the difference? So if you take 10,000, you will pay them 13, 14,000 within 2 years, while you can pay them 10,500 only if you apply for the loan from Sainsbury or Tisco. That's only a simple example. Add to this, last 3 months is we invented new technology. People in the UK and US as well. I believe Canada as well is part of this. I mentioned this last night quickly, but you can pay using your fingerprint in grocery stores, in everywhere where they have this technology. So they have invented the technology that they link your fingerprints and some of the nerves, because somebody can cut your finger and run away and have your bank account. But they have developed this technology on a basis that it's not only the fingerprints, but the nerves link it to the whole hand and the nerving system. So if you don't have money, if you don't have any cards, all what you go, how much you want to pay? Done. Scary. Can you believe the development in technology now? Can you believe the fast move in technology now? Scary. Scary.
Just to help me to understand that, I've heard that many times. In fact, just put your, I mean, I've seen even in Al Jazeera documentary, a program such that. Okay, does it mean, I mean, based on what they give you this facility?
Every single human have different fingerprints.
Okay. No, I mean,
so they link using a technology, using a program, your bank account details and your name.
So there is a bank account and you have money there, but you don't have it cash with you.
And you don't have cards.
Instead of cash, instead of mobile, you will just have your...
You will never forget this. You can't forget your card, you can't forget your mobile, you can forget, but you can't forgive yourself.
It's just a method, a way to use your money.
That's how millennials think. They want life much easier. I don't want to have anything in my pocket when I go out. I would like to be free wearing my short and t-shirt and go just enjoy myself and use my finger to pay.
Does it not put me in a higher risk as a human being?
It is.
Okay, if someone takes takes my wallet, my mobile, it's okay. But if he comes and cuts my hand, what would I do?
It won't work.
It increases the risk.
It won't work.
Really?
There is a link in the software that link it to the whole nerving system. Absolutely.